The struggle of Myanmar's ethnic armed groups, the role of KNAB, CNA, CNF, KIA, and PDF in the fight against the junta. Since the military coup in Myanmar on Basam February 1, 2021, the country has witnessed a brutal and continuous conflict with the Tatmadaw, Myanmar's military, violently suppressing pro-democracy protesters and ethnic minority groups who have long sought autonomy. The Kachin National Army B, KNAB, the Chin National Army, CNA, the Chin National Front, CNF, and the Kachin Independence Army, KIA, along with local militias and the People's Defense Forces, PDF, have played a central role in resisting the junta. These groups have united in a common struggle against the Tatmadaw, often battling together to free Myanmar from military oppression. This article will delve into the role of the KNAB, its cooperation with the KIA, CNA, CNF, and other resistance groups, focusing on their operations in border regions, and the Sagaing region, and their continuous war against the Tatmadaw. We will explore the alliances formed between these ethnic armed organizations, EAOs, their military tactics, and the challenges they face in their fight for autonomy, democracy, and the protection of their people. Formation of the People's Defense Forces, PDF, and strategic alliances. The coup in 2021 sparked widespread protests, strikes, and civil disobedience across Myanmar. It became clear that peaceful methods alone would not be enough to challenge the military regime. As a result, various resistance groups, including ethnic militias and former government officials, formed the People's Defense Forces, PDF. The PDF is the armed wing of the National Unity Government, NUG, a shadow government made up of pro-democracy activists, political leaders, and ethnic armed organizations that rejected the coup and the legitimacy of the Tatmadaw. The PDF's formation was a pivotal moment for Myanmar's ethnic armed groups. KNA and KIA and CNF, long entrenched in their struggles for autonomy and self-determination, quickly aligned themselves with the PDF in order to create a united resistance against the Tatmadaw. The PDF, while initially formed to counter the military coup, became an essential part of the overall resistance movement that brought together Myanmar's ethnic minorities and pro-democracy forces. The alliance between the KNAB, CNA, KIA, CNF, and the PDF enabled these groups to pool resources, coordinate attacks, and launch a more unified resistance across Myanmar. Their cooperation was essential in creating a more organized and effective military strategy against a well-equipped and brutal Tatmadaw. The KNAB and KIA, Training, Collaboration, and Operations. The Kachin National Army B, KNAB, is a faction of the Kachin Independence Organization, KIO, representing the Kachin ethnic group in northern Myanmar. The KNAB has been involved in armed resistance against the Tatmadaw for many years, advocating for greater autonomy and the protection of Kachin lands. The KNAB shares many of its strategic objectives with the Kachin Independence Army, KIA, another major military force within the KIO. The KIO, with its long history of fighting the Tatmadaw has provided military training to the KNAB. This collaboration has helped the KNAB develop advanced combat strategies, especially those suited to the rugged and dense border areas of Myanmar. The KIA's experience in guerrilla warfare and its familiarity with the mountainous terrain of Kachin State have proven essential for the KNAB's operational effectiveness. The KIA has trained KNAB fighters in hit-and-run tactics, the ambushes, and the use of light mobile units that can quickly engage and retreat. These skills are particularly useful in the border regions, where KNAB operates, as the terrain is difficult and the Tatmadaw's presence is less consistent. While the KNA and KIA have collaborated on many fronts, they also operate in different regions. The KNA has a strong presence in Laos, Kachin state, and in Myanmar's northern border areas, especially in areas near India. These border regions are strategically vital due to their proximity to India, which has been a source of refuge and logistical support for various ethnic armed groups. Operations in border areas: India-Myanmar border and Sagaing region. The border areas of India and Myanmar have become a critical zone for the resistance groups, particularly the KNAB. These regions provide important strategic advantages for the KNAB, such as difficult terrain. The mountainous and forested areas offer natural protection and concealment for resistance forces. -. Cross-border support. Many ethnic groups have cross-border ties with communities in India, allowing for the exchange of resources, training, and shelter. Limited Tatmadaw presence. While the Phua Tatmadaw has tried to extend its reach into the border regions, the remote and rugged terrain makes it difficult for the military to maintain a strong, consistent presence. These factors have allowed the KNAB to launch coordinated attacks against Tatmadaw convoys, military outposts, and supply lines along Myanmar's western border. The KNAB has been particularly active in the Sagaing region, a strategic area where Kuki villages are located. The Kuki ethnic group, alongside other Chin and Kachin communities, has formed part of the resistance in this region. In Sagaing, the Tatmadaw has waged intense offensives against villages suspected of supporting resistance forces. However, the KNAB, working in conjunction with other ethnic militias and local defense groups, has continued to disrupt Tatmadaw operations. Their hit-and-run tactics, including ambushes and the destruction of military infrastructure, have inflicted significant damage on the Khwai Tatmadaw's military apparatus. Takchuai, the role of the CNA and CNF in the resistance. The Aloichuanawai and Aichuanev have also played vital roles in the PDF-led resistance against the Tatmadaw. The Chin National Army, CNA, the armed wing of the Chin National Front, CNF, represents the Chin ethnic group, which resides primarily in a Chin state in western Myanmar. The CNA has been fighting the Tatmadaw for decades, advocating for the rights of the Chin people and opposing military dominance over their lands. The CNA has been critical in coordinating resistance in Chin state and has formed alliances with both the KNAB and other ethnic militias, including the KIA, to carry out joint operations. The Chin resistance in areas such as Sagaing has been bolstered by local militias and the cooperation of CNH forces, who have provided both military and logistical support to the wider resistance efforts. The CNFOS has also been an important force in Chin state, working to safeguard the Chin people from the Khwai Tatmadaw's brutality and to provide sanctuary to displaced civilians. The Khinfin shares many of the same goals as the Xianyalbadiats, achieving autonomy for the Chin ethnic group and resisting the oppression of the Tatmadaw. Together, the KNAB, CNS, and KIA have become a significant force in the resistance against the Tatmadaw, especially in the border regions and areas like Sagaing. Their ability to collaborate has allowed them to launch successful operations against the Krab Tatmadaw, disrupting supply chains, destroying military infrastructure, and weakening the junta's control in ethnic regions. Challenges and struggles faced by the KNAB and its allies. The KNAB and its allies face numerous challenges in their fight against the Tatmadaw. Despite their strategic successes, they are constantly under pressure from the Tatmadaw's brutal tactics, including airstrikes, artillery bombardments, and the ground offensives. These tactics are intended to suppress the resistance and break the spirit of the people supporting the armed groups. Military pressure from the Tatmadaw. The Tatmadaw has made the border regions and Sagaing region upper major targets in its campaign of military repression, using aerial bombardments and artillery strikes. The Tatmadaw seeks to destroy civilian infrastructure, displace local populations, and demoralize resistance fighters. However, the KNA has been able to counter some of these attacks with its guerrilla warfare tactics. While the Tatmadaws may have superior firepower, the KNA and its allies have proven adept at using the terrain to their advantage. Chakursai, internal struggles and resource shortages. The KNA and its allies face significant logistical challenges. Resistance fighters are often operating with limited resources, including ammunition, medical supplies, and food. While they have received some support from external actors, including communities in India, the KNA still struggles to maintain its operations due to these shortages. Furthermore, the cooperation between different ethnic armed groups, while generally strong, can also lead to tension over resource allocation and territorial control. Targeting of civilians. The Tatmadaw has consistently targeted civilian populations in areas of resistance, villages in Sagaing region and Kachin state, such as those inhabited by the Kuki Maying people, have been destroyed in retaliatory strikes.